lost when you don't chase it. What you looking at me for?
What's up, y'all? Have a seat. It's your favorite hour of the week with the Facts Over Axe crew. And we got a loaded show for y'all, but before we get into that, I got to introduce my people. The master, the mixer master, Josh Guyton.
That is I. You ain't stealing it this week, baby.
He's been so polite as to let us use his Twitch channel for now. So, you know, follow the real channel. We're going to link that in a minute. But we appreciate it, Josh. We appreciate you, Ziff Nation, for coming out, and anybody else is coming out as well.
Of course.
We got the money man, the man with the plan, Mr. Chris Allen.
Right here.
Now listen, we have International Women's Day. We have, I believe it's International, or is it National Women's Month as well. So we're going to start this thing off with our favorite women in sports. And then after we get into that, of course, we got to talk. We got to talk this All-Star game that just happened. The day-long spectacular that it was. Then we're going to get into this Blake Griffin signing. And then we're going to change over to football a little bit. And speaking of signings, the most guaranteed money ever, Mr. Dakota Prescott. Dak got paid, you understand? So let's get this thing started right. Let's show some love to the women. Who are y'all favorite women in sports? Just one from the past, one current, and why? Or give me a moment from them.
So for current, I'm gonna go with Naomi Osaka. It kind of sounds like a cop-out answer, but the reason I'm gonna go with that is because rest in peace, Kobe. I'm all about pushing the game for it. And we know how big of a proponent that Serena is when it comes to women's sports in general, empowering women, and the game of tennis. And with, you know, her recently having a child, and I'm not going to say like her best days are behind her. She's still in here competing for championships. But we can tell that Serena is on a downturn of her career. And after she retired, I didn't really necessarily see a woman that would be able to take that torch from her and continue to push the game forward. But now that we have Naomi in the game, we can see a woman that's going to be able to push tennis forward for possibly the next 20 years and carry that torch from Serena when we didn't see that being a thing, 2-3 years ago.
Absolutely. So who's your favorite woman in sports of the past?
Okay, I watch women's basketball. I'm gonna go with Cheryl Swoops. That's the first woman hooper I could think of to where like I actually tuned into women's game and I was like, they out here hooping. Like, of course, it's easy to pull up highlights or anything to give women a bad rap, especially when it comes to basketball. But one, that's the first one where I saw like, yo, she hooping. And second, I need to get me a pair. Do y'all remember the Cheryl Swoops Nikes?
I remember hearing about them.
Google them, bro.
I did not have a pair. I did not.
Google them, bro.
Hey, I might have to check them out. I might have to check those out one time. But Chris, we gonna hop it over to you, man. Who's your favorite woman of sports of the past? Who's your favorite woman of sports from the present?
All right, I'm gonna go present first. It's still Serena for me. Have we ever seen anyone dominate just one section of sports? Besides like the longevity of LeBron, but anybody, not a team sport. Have we ever seen anybody dominate a single person's sport as long as Serena?
I have to say
not
no.
In modern history, not yet. Yeah. Definitely not in modern history. I'm thinking back, and
she's been dominant.
She's been good since the 2000s.
She might be the GOAT of tennis, like just overall scope, like just because how long she's been dominating. Like I remember I was in a camp back in, I want to say 6th grade, and she was on top of the pyramid. And she still is. Like even though she came up a little short recently, but she still, nobody gonna say I could just beat Serena straight up 1-on-1.
And you know what? To lose in the semifinals to the person who went on to win it, so you're the third best player, effectively, in the world of what you do. And like people are like, "Oh, she's washed. Like she's washed. It's over now." Like, tell anybody else you'll be the third best at anything you do, right? Like Chris is an engineer. I work in HR when I'm not doing sports journalism. If somebody told Chris, "You're the third best engineer in the world," I'm pretty sure you will walk into some offices. Hey, go ahead and raise that pay up for me, bro. Right. If somebody told me I was the third best at HR in the world, Hey, listen, I do all the hiring and firing around here from now on. Don't do no investigations.
Talk nice to me.
No claims
Talk
without-
nice to me.
Exactly. Need 6 figures. But go ahead, Chris. Sorry to cut you off there.
All right, and then my past, and the reason why I'm gonna say the reason why. For one, she's beautiful, and for two, the smoothest transition from a player to like on the announcing staff or one of the people that they always go to when they want to do a quick interview. It's just Candace Parker, man. Candace Parker she's that deal. She was dominant in her sport. She's a tall woman, 6'4", which is surprising. Like she was just that skilled at 6'4" as a woman, because 6'4" is kind of that's extremely tall for a woman, and she made it look effortless every night in, night out. Like she just smooth. Like she wear her suits now on air, and she just smooth transition from playing.
I feel that. My favorite woman of the past, favorite woman in sports of the past, is Layla Ali. Anybody who knows me knows I love to see people who defy what is, or not who defy, who walk into what is expected of them and just like knock it out of the park, right? The daughter of Muhammad Ali, people expect you to be like, yeah, you're supposed to be good at fighting. But what she was doing to people in that ring for a very long time was like, yo, she was on the main event undercards. Like that's how, with MMA it's a little different now. We're starting to see women get the undercard, main card and all that. Right. I don't think any of that is possible without Layla Ali back in the day putting it on people so bad that it was like, all right, we gotta throw her on the undercards because we gotta throw her on the main event or two, because if you don't, you risk losing off some money on that. And my present, it was so like Guyton, I watched a lot of women's sports, and I had a lot of choices to go with here. I really did. Part of me wanted to go Amanda Nunes because she opened the wheels off people.
That's not fair, bro. That's not fair, bro.
She beating people down so bad, man. It's tough to even quantify how hard she's been going on folks, because she while she has a decent amount of experience, she's still relatively new and hasn't had the longevity of some other players. So I would probably say my favorite right now. Y'all gonna hate me for this, but I gotta say it. Brittany Griner. To see a post player like her dominate the game the way that she does is impressive. It's very. She a little delusional thinking she could beat Boogie in a one-on-one game. A little delusional. But all the best suffer from delusions of grandeur, and to see her go out and go after it night after night after night, even when she doesn't necessarily have to help around her, that some of the other champs do, it's impressive to see. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Mercury are good and they're getting better, but she's a force down there, so that's impressive. And so we gonna go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just saying, some of the comments, somebody said Gabby Douglas. That's a good one. That's a real one.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah, we had Simone Biles in there for the old school. We had FloJo in there.
Simone Biles is in there too, yeah. FloJo. Hey, let me tell you, FloJo was fierce, boy. Them fits, I have never seen any athlete as crispy as FloJo.
That's facts.
Man or woman, I've never seen somebody so well dressed while they compete.
You wasn't
they not know Russell Westbrook for sure.
You don't think that's competing with James Harden rain jacket from yesterday?
Oh, guy. He wearing that straight to the Atlanta strip club. He went to Magic City in that raincoat. That's why he went straight to Magic City.
FloJo had the jumpsuit with the one leg out, with the ankle break, with the little anklet on with it. You're not touching it. Nobody. The level of iciness she reached is come on now.
Calm down, Gibbs. Calm down. Mouth watering over there.
Y'all know. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm passionate about women's sports, and she was damn good at it, and she looked damn good while she was doing it. But we're gonna move on to this All-Star game that just happened, because it hurts my feelings because we talking about how pristine and clean FloJo was, and then we gonna get into something. I'm gonna just ask y'all, okay? We're gonna put everything that happened in the All-Star game in one of two categories: hot mess or slight flex? That's what we're gonna do for everything All-Star. Because honestly, to put this All-Star game together in basically 3 weeks and have it happen, it's either got to be a hot mess or hey, the NBA kind of did that. Well, I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing we're gonna start off with. Player safety. How do y'all think they did as far as keeping the players safe, keeping the players in good health, good condition? What are y'all saying? A hot mess or slight flex?
Man, I'm gonna go with slight flex just because the fact that you in Atlanta, most of the players that you could speak of, you talk about a LeBron and Steph Curry, it's gonna be easy to keep them out of circles to where they gonna, get contact tracing, whatever the case may be. But you had younger players, which they kept a lot of them out of trouble. I know. I'm pretty sure Jason Tatum is a kept man, if I know correctly. But you got Jaylen Brown out there. You got a couple of young players. You got Harden, even though he older. We know how he get down, and he was able to, he was able to, he was able to get out unscathed. So so I know we had a few players that had to sit out, like Embiid, Simmons, but all things considered, considering the fact that they threw this thing together, considering the track record of every other sport we've seen in the past calendar year, and the fact that they're in Atlanta, which is basically a hotbed for COVID at this point, I think it's a slight flex, the fact that they were able to pull this off.
No, okay, I feel it. Chris, what you thinking, man? Player safety.
Hey, listen. On just player safety, we going on one topic at a time. I'm gonna say it's a slight flex, only because I see the post on Instagram today, dude. It was like a blue bandana tied to a red bandana. It said HIV and COVID on their All-Star. So
come on, man.
None of the players that we know of yet got HIV or COVID. So I'm gonna say that's a flex, okay? Because that made so much sense on that Instagram post.
Josh Guy, please tell me we not live. Please tell me we not live.
Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We about to.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, bro. Is that not a flex? Cause that when I saw that, I was like, man, that's low key kind of true.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Speaking of flexes, I know I forgot something. I kept thinking about something. I forgot something. You went skiing this weekend, bro. You pull out the goggles for us, man.
Hey,
you gotta flex with the goggles for us, man.
Yeah, I'm a ski guy.
I'm a
ski guy, man.
Honey, where's my super suit head ass, man? You look good. But I guess I got to be the Debbie Downer here. I hope that nobody from Philadelphia is in Ziff Nation because they just unfollowed you on these lives. I'm sorry, but all in all, when you get two of the biggest names in basketball, two of the players that are on the number one team, to have to miss multiple games based on what, right? No. They went to get a haircut. That's right. You know what I'm saying? No, I understand that, but at the same time, to me, it should have been very specific guidelines of like, hey, listen, this how we coming. This. Get in, get out. That's it. Don't do nothing. Don't breathe nowhere. Don't go meet Lou Will at the strip club.
I would much rather them players catch COVID than had that bubble barber they had in the bubble giving them fades again, boy.
hey, you saw Jimmy. Jimmy said, "I'm just not gonna get cut until I get my barber back."
That bubble barber was doing them dirty.
That was Rondo brother, man. That was Rondo brother.
Hey,
Rajon took all the assistant abilities in the family. He couldn't do nothing but hurt them boys. He said, all right, let me get you a little... Oh, my God.
I know he had that shaky... LeBron.
Oh, my God. That was tough. That was... All right, so we're going to go on to... the celebrity, the Bleacher Report Celebrity 2-on-2 tournament. Hot mess or slight flex? Where we going with this?
I'm going to go with slight flex only because it's very rare that these celebrity games are, one, they're never good, and two, they're hardly ever entertaining. So I'm going to go with slight flex because it was actually a little bit of both. I mean, it could have been a one-on-one between Quavo and 2 Chainz. They was, Lil Baby was out there just running. But he's put up Tony Snell's
Baby
stats.
said, I ain't go to, when Lil Baby said, I ain't go to school, I went straight to the streets, you could tell.
Right.
He was not confident at all.
Hey, listen. You saw him in all them pictures with James Harden this summer. I thought he was gonna at least hoop with him one time. He ain't hoop a lick with James
At
Harden.
all.
I'm like, hey, I rewatched that. I was like,
Bro got the rebounds and passed James the ball. That was it. That was all he did. Yeah, I got you, bro.
Change.
I got you, James. I got you.
James, you hit 40 in a row, James? Man, you different.
Chris, what you thinking, man? What you thinking?
Man,
Hot mess or slight flex?
Y'all know I hate when they got people that are not professionals playing on live television. Like I think it's a hot mess. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I mean, it's cool. It's nice they was able to do it, but like, to be honest, if we being honest, in a top tier pickup game at like LA Fitness where I used to hoop at, Quavo would be just like everybody else. If we being honest, like Quavo is good, but he's not that dominant. Like they got him against scrubs, people that don't play.
He play ball. That's how good he is. He a dude that play
like,
ball.
He's somebody you look at like and be like, okay, he play basketball. He just somebody that's decent at basketball. Like he just play. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no. I wouldn't go pick him up on my G League team or my. You know what I'm saying? He just somebody that play. And he play.
Let me tell you something. It was a slight flex because of Quavo's performance alone. I don't think people realize how good Quavo was in the finals, man. That man had 17 points, 14 rebounds.
Look who he played.
Wait. In a game to 21.
Look who he playing, bro. Like
Come on,
I'm
man.
saying,
Come on.
Gibbs.
All right, bro. All right. So Gibbs, let's say it like this. You play 2K, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you hop on the twos with your homie and two 72 overall brown shirts hop on. You getting 17 to 14, bro.
I hear you. But no cap, I might not. Simply for this reason, bro. This man dropped 17 and 14 and like he blocked one of the Lil Baby shots, and you could tell they do not rock with each other in real life. He said, I am not. He blocked that shot, looked at bros like, I am not 4PF. I do not want nothing to do with y'all balls, man. So that alone to me was impressive. And also, y'all know how hard I am on the celebrity game, man. I really do not like the celebrity game at all. I love the new format. I love the way they redid it. Honestly, having the celebrity announcers. I mean, who didn't want to hear Supreme Dreams do all of the announcing of the game, man? Come on now. Who didn't want to hear Drewski do a little bit of announcing? As opposed to hearing Reggie Miller and
Hey, I want to hear him the next day.
I want to hear them do regular games,
I
man.
don't want to hear them call a regular game,
Right.
let alone the celebrity game. Come on, man. I got to give it slight flex. All right. So we're gonna do two more things and we're gonna bring this thing to a close. Because the actual All-Star game, I think we can all agree. We'll get to the important parts later, but it was decent. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was like, man, the All-Star game. So the 3-point competition. Hot mess, slight flex. I mean, it was really a showdown between Conley, who he was a last-minute replacement, right?
Yeah, I ain't see Conley. I ain't see Conley shooting that thing like that. I ain't see Conley shooting that thing like that. But I think it was a flex just because of the showdown between Conley and Steph. I think Steph might have been playing around a little bit because this seemed like when he was like, all right, it's time for me to win, he locked in and he was able to get the dub. But just the Conley versus Steph finals was a flex right there. That was entertaining.
Okay, Chris, what you thinking, man?
I go slight flex. It was entertaining for sure. I do like the addition of the Mountain Dew balls, the 3-point balls. I still like they kept the money ball rack. I just wish players would just, put the money ball rack where they gonna hit the shots at, man. They seem like it was breaking the whole rack. I was like, I thought that was your sweet spot. That's why you put it there. But I mean, and why is Jaylen Brown in a 3-point contest? He is a scorer, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he shoot above 33%.
You knew he wasn't a shooter when Dwayne Wade said, oh, he's a shot maker. He's not a 3-point shooter.
If Dwayne Wade tell you're not a 3-point shooter, you ain't a 3-point shooter.
You need to get out that competition.
You need to get out of Dodge quick.
Not the competition for you. I'm going to tell you, it's a slight flex for me. Actually, it's a big flex for me. I ain't even going to lie. I got to break the rules, man. It's a big flex for me because it was the most exciting competition of the night. It was the
Yeah.
most exciting competition of the night.
By far.
By a mile. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't even close. When you look at the actual game, we all saw Team LeBron roster, and we was like, damn, KD can't pick a team unless it's already assembled. This is unfortunate. We saw the dunk contest, and it was just blah. This was the worst dunk contest
I
we've seen
will
in a
say
minute.
this. I will say this. The first round was decent at best.
Okay,
The first round was decent at best.
and that's really the biggest reason why the dunk contest was so trash and everybody knew it was trash. You can't pull out your best stuff in the first round, man.
True.
Who does that? Everybody put out their best stuff, and then in the second round it was like, yeah, I'm a windmill.
My thing about this is when you got hops like that, like when you are like athletically separate from all of your peers, right?
Right.
And I know even people like me, like if I dunk, I can give you a 2K rim grazer package dunk, and I'm gonna have to ice my knees immediately after. So when you got hops like that, I know at least since the age of like 12, you've been thinking about like, damn, what am I gonna do when I hit the dunk contest? There's no way you've been thinking about ideas for the past 10 years of your life, and you got out on that stage, and those are the dunks that you came up with.
So wait a minute. Can we talk about the ice your knees comment real quick, bro?
Hey man, hey, it be like that.
If you hit a rim grazer, hey, come get me.
Hey bro, look, I'm 6 feet. The rim is 10 feet. So that I gotta fall a couple of feet in order for my knees ain't ready for that kind of impact. My knees not ready for this kind of impact.
They're gonna explode like Kyle on South Park when you got the
Facts.
All right. But so Chris, what you thinking, man? Was the 3-point competition slight flex hot mess, man? What you going with?
Hot mess, hot on fire mess. Like that was. My thing, just like Guy said, a lot of those players, the announcers even said it, a lot of those players' first dunk was in 8th grade. If your first dunk is in 8th grade, I know you've been dunked. Like, because I remember my first dunk came in about 11th grade. My first dunk came. And after that first dunk, I was like, oh, how can I make that dunk harder? So I started trying to cock my arm back farther. So I know for a fact they've been thinking of ways their whole life on how to do a spectacular dunk. And they got time to practice it their whole life. And to come out there and almost kiss the rim and win a dunk contest.
Chris, that's why we was talking about the 3-point competition. We all agreed that the dunk contest was trash.
Yeah, right.
That's why you don't criticize the wrong competition. We all know the dunk contest is trash, man. We know that. What did you think about the 3-point contest, though, man? What'd you think? Was it? What'd you think?
I mean, like I said, it was. I like the addition of the new stuff they added, the Mountain Dew bar, stuff like that. Cause it gave it an X factor. Like, for example, like it was a couple times where Jason Tatum was out of it, but he hit one of those Mountain Dew balls and it brought him right back in it. So I want to see Clay and Curry go at it in that format there.
For sure. For me personally, I gotta go with slight flex, man. Anytime it comes down to the last shot, anything that is your most entertaining thing, it has to be a flex. It has to be. And the biggest part is all of it, the entire All-Star weekend was last minute. Mike Conley was added last minute, and the game came down to the last shot. Yeah. All of those things combined together to make that really, honestly and truly, one of the best 3-point contests we've seen in a minute. Honestly and truly, just because of those things all coming together. Who was it rooting for Mike Conley coming down the stretch?
Hey, listen, I'm not going to lie. Mike Conley came up short like he did that shot in the playoff series against Denver. He came up short like
Stop it, man.
I knew he was going to do it.
Hey, that boy went in and out.
Stop it, man.
I don't like this guy. He's a bandit.
How sick was Utah when Mike Conley shot that shot and it went in and out?
This man is a villain. This man must be stopped. This man must be stopped, man. The people from Philadelphia and Utah is going to cancel Guyton, bro. They're going to band together
right,
and
man.
cancel Guyton.
I mean,
the Mormons and the Muslims trying to cancel Guyton all in one
I'm going to lose all 12 followers in Utah with internet.
hey, Why y'all horse in Utah, dog? Y'all horse in Utah.
I'm trying to help Braun, and he go full Maxwell Vernon on us. Bro, I swear I did not know Utah had this many people. All right. So last thing, man. Last thing. Skills challenge. What you thinking, man? I'm gonna start this one off. I'm sorry, but I gotta start this one off. It was a hot ass mess. First of all, why does Chris Paul do this every year in the skills competition?
This is what it was, a 7th one. It was a 7th one,
something like that, and he hasn't won none. No. How do you not win one? Three things you can count on in life: death, taxes, and Chris Paul losing the skills competition, bro. It's terrible. And then people are talking about, oh, the bigs winning, it being two bigs in the finals, it shows that the game is evolving. No, it doesn't. Chris Paul missed 2 layups. How do you miss a layup in a skills challenge? The 3, I get it. I understand.
Right.
That's a 3-point shot, right? The best of all time to ever do it. Make 4 out of 10. I understand how you missed that. A layup. A bunny. You smoked 2 bunnies. And also, I love Vooch as a player. I really do. He's one of my favorite centers in the game. There's not a single competition that I think him being in the finals in makes more entertaining.
That's true.
I'm sorry. There's not a
true.
single competition that comes to mind. I'm like, if Vooch is in the finals, I gotta watch. When I saw it was him and Sabonis, I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and go to the bathroom, man. I've been holding this for a minute. It's about time. No, I saw the final, but I'm just saying, that hot mess to me. What you think, Chris?
You said it yourself. I don't care how many buckets Vooch been putting up this season. He been on a balling streak right now. Him and Sabonis. Sabonis done got a triple-double in the first half this season, almost. No. 2 slow guys doing a skills challenge that Chris Paul loses every year. It's a no for me. It's a no for me. And look, to make it even worse, it was some fans that paid to be there in that arena.
It hurts my spirit thinking of the lost bread that you cannot recoup to watch Vooch and Sabonis dribble and shoot threes. Jesus Christ. Whew, Lord help him. Guyton, what you thinking, man?
All right, so I'm gonna go a little different with this. This year specifically, you can go hot mess, but I think the skills challenge in itself, you can go straight flex for this reason. We know what we're getting out of the skills challenge, but we can agree that this is the only competition every year that brings us legitimate star power.
You're not wrong.
No other competition during All-Star Weekend are you getting stars. Not even a 3-point contest. Because
I mean, yeah, but it didn't be Vucevic and Sabonis.
They still All-Stars.
Guard drills.
They still All-Stars.
I'll tell you what though. This is the most star-studded 3-point competition that we've had in quite some time.
The only reason we had that though is because they're trying to limit the people, you know what I'm saying, at All-Star Weekend because of COVID. If it wasn't that, bro, we would have seen it would have been Wesley Matthews and Joe Harris in a 3-point contest, bro. So
yo, quit playing with the Wesley Matthews.
Joe Harris,
come on, man.
Hey, Joe Harris won one before,
but he not a star.
3-point competition.
Bro, we done had Steve Novak in a 3-point contest, man.
What about Wally Serbiak, man?
It's called.
You don't miss the days.
It is called All-Star Weekend. It's called All-Star Weekend.
Not all decent, not all
straight.
And now we had
that guy was good.
Now we had to watch Jaylen Brown in a 3-point contest.
All right. So when we look at the totality this weekend, I think the one thing we can all agree was a highlight. Seeing Bron and Steph on the same team. Everybody is clamoring for more of it after seeing them on court together for like 5 minutes.
Man, look.
What are y'all thinking? Is this something y'all want to see?
I want to see
in actual team up in the actual season.
Now I think both of them are pretty competitive, so we won't see it anytime soon. But I think we can both see a semi-washed version of each player play together. And you say what? 3 seasons? Steph 33, Brian got a couple more years. 3 seasons from now, they both free agents.
Bro,
we
they
can't
could just
see.
go play for Team USA.
I'm not. I'm trying to see an NBA season. If you got to semi-watch Brian and Steph,
men pass the ball like
I would.
Man.
LeBron not gonna forget how to pass, and Steph not gonna forget how to shoot.
I'll tell you what. Those two even semi-wash, they're going to be the favorites that year.
Yeah,
I can guarantee.
Bro, Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce in Brooklyn was favorites to win the title. You telling me Steph and Brian 3 years from now can't be favorites?
I know they'll be the favorites, but I mean, I don't really want to see it though. Just off the strip,
they could come
I like
to
the rivalry.
They could come to the Pistons and had Jeremy Grant as their third option. They'll be the favorites.
Listen,
They'll be
I like them on the same team, but just I like the story behind Steph and Brian like not being on the same team. You know what I mean? Like, because it's always that thing that if Brian had the best shooters in the world on his team, he probably would be unstoppable. And I like that mystery. I like that, I like that untold story. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'll tell you this. Those two really are like fire and ice. They're literally like the perfect antithesis to one another because the things that Brown has, for the most part, the things that got him noticed in high school, the things that for a majority of his career, they're things that you cannot coach, you cannot teach, you're literally just like you're born with it or you're not. You're like, that's just that. And it's athleticism, it's power, it's skill that is supernatural. It's seemingly supernatural. And Steph is a bit that same way in that, no matter how much you shoot or practice shooting, you're never going to be Steph. But also, he's short, he's unathletic, he can't jump, he doesn't run super fast.
You saw that oop yesterday.
Hey, guy, before I gained weight, I was able to do new type of oops. That's not hard.
Man, you know,
a lot of the fans of the show, I don't want to be here no more, man. I don't even want.
Hey, you know Steph, my dog. You know Steph, my dog, man.
This man caught one oop, now all of a sudden he got ups. Come on, man. Come on, man. His ankle's shaky. Bruh, he immediately, just like you said about your knees, he immediately went to go ice them Achilles.
Hey, that's not a lie, though. That's not a lie.
So, I mean, those two, like I said, they're very fire and ice type of guys. And honestly and truly, I think that them being apart, I mean, it would be like John McEnroe and his rival playing doubles together. Like, it would be exciting to see, but at the same time, you're like, they're going to destroy whoever they're going against. So it ain't really as fun. So let me talk to y'all about this, right? Because part of what built the lore of Steph and LeBron going against each other was their time in Cleveland. And Cleveland happens to be the next All-Star game. The host of the next All-Star game. Any thoughts about that? Since we just attacking cities senselessly here, since we done already told Philly it don't matter that your stars are out.
Okay,
since we done told Utah y'all got 3 people with DHL internet.
Okay, so however COVID affected this All-Star break, it's going to be the exact same next year, regardless if COVID is over or not.
Hey, guy, relax, because the All-Stars game has been worse places than Cleveland.
Where?
What?
You only got 30. You only got 30 options, and then New York got 2 teams, so that take you to 29. LA got 2 teams, that take you to 28.
Actually, no, because they didn't end up having the one in Indiana, did they? That was supposed to be this year, I believe, the one in Indiana, and they moved it to Atlanta.
Indiana and Cleveland going 12 rounds for this destination, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It was supposed to be in Indiana this year, though. It was if it was in Indiana, would y'all see what I'm saying? If it was in Indiana, y'all be like, Cleveland might not be that bad.
I'm gonna tell you something.
You might be right.
Cleveland is looking at Indiana like it's gonna be a thriller. When I get that gorilla, because that there is gonna be a battle.
I mean, audience, if y'all tune in, what would y'all rather go to Cleveland or anywhere in Indiana, including Indianapolis? Like, I mean,
can staying put be an option? Can staying away from because if you tell me I gotta go to 1 or 2, can I stay home, bro? Can I like chill with my?
If it was between those two, I would definitely hit Cleveland. If it's between them two,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
it could
be worse. It could be worse.
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I do Cleveland. I guess.
I've hung out in Cleveland a couple times. I like Cleveland a little bit. I mean, it was a good getaway from Detroit when I lived in the Midwest. So I mean, I don't know.
I'll give you that. I'll tell you this. The All-Star game being in Cleveland next year is clear proof and evidence the NBA needs to stop trying to force equity. The fact of the matter is simple here, right? Like, this is as if they were like, basically, all right, so LeBron and AD, y'all can't play together. Warriors, disband, please. One of y'all got to go to a trash team. One of y'all got to go to the worst team in the league. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it, man. Like, please, keep it in good cities. Keep it in exciting cities, okay? Keep it in cities where people want to be.
Yeah.
When have you ever, in your lifetime, heard somebody say, hey, bro, I'm finna hit Indy and act up, bro. I'm finna hit that town and go crazy. When have you ever heard somebody say, hey, bro,
Never.
the casinos in Cleveland? Oh,
Never.
I'm finna act up. I'm finna cut up and... Come on, man. Come on, dog. Listen, the Super Bowl is only in like 8 cities. Like, only 8 cities.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
At the Super Bowl, and everybody's okay with it. Nobody's like, oh, my city don't get the Super Bowl. This is awful.
Yeah,
Your city doesn't deserve the Super Bowl.
So here's the reason that I'm looking at it. I understand that you know, the NBA always want to be progressive and inclusive, you know, share the wealth and things like that. But like you said, the Super Bowl, if you go into the Super Bowl, it's most likely somewhere in Florida, somewhere in LA or New Orleans. Them the locations they hit the most.
Or Atlanta, or I mean, it's always somewhere fun. It's somewhere
right.
else.
If you look at arguably the second biggest like grand stage once a year event behind the Super Bowl, I know not a lot of our fans are into it, but WrestleMania is probably second behind the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And every year WrestleMania is in Florida, LA, New Orleans, New York. It's a reason they do that. And if the NBA and these other organizations want to make a bigger deal out of these spectacles, they need to start following that game plan.
I'm gonna pump y'all brakes on Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta was popping this year for All-Star Weekend. It was wide open, but I don't think I would have visited Atlanta. I don't think I would have.
You wouldn't have visited Atlanta. People was visiting Atlanta, bro. The city was the only thing wide open, sir.
Let me tell you something. There were people, listen, you can say what you want about this All-Star Weekend. There were people sleeping in U-Haul vans in order to like be a part of the All-Star festivities, even though All-Star was only one night this year.
Yeah.
It was one night,
Right.
and still.
Why didn't they just say All-Star Day? Why did they say All-Star Weekend?
Because the lore of All-Star Weekend it's become a brand of its own. You can't say All-Star Day. That just feels weird. It feels very weird.
I get it, but I mean, it really was just really one day for real.
That's how like the day at school. It's like the day at school where they let you eat pizza and play Madden. You got to say All-Star Weekend, bro.
Oh my god. Hey, hockey. All right, all the kids with 3.5s. Come on, it's time to participate in All-Star Day.
You get Little Caesars instead of the piece of pizza with the.
Hey, and you know the most disrespectful part about it. And in hindsight, teachers need to get paid more. I'm sorry to go off on this tangent, but don't give me Little Caesars and give me a slice that's this thick. Don't do that, bro. Don't do what? Like, bro, what? Kendrick Perkins could jump over this slice of pizza, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. So we gonna keep it on the court. And we're going to go to a team that thinks they got a big fish. Blake Griffin agreed to a buyout with the Pistons. He's landed with the Nets. Now, I want to ask y'all a question because off camera we talked about the benefits of a buyout for a player earlier. What does a team gain from a buyout?
They save a little bit of money on the contract. So, for example, Blake Griffin, $41 million he was expected to get with the taking his player option. I think it was $38 million. He had $3 million in incentives or something like that. So, basically, he agreed to a $29 million buyout. So the team didn't have to give him that $41 million. And they got to release him, free a roster spot, and he got to sign where he wanted to and make the money off that team. So he signed with Brooklyn, and he got $5 million on top of the $29 million. He get the $29 million in a lump sum. So therefore, the contract doesn't follow that team down the line unless they spread it out like they did for Josh Smith. But I think they paid Blake Griffin out. So now they don't have to deal with that in the future, and they have a roster spot. So that's how it benefits the team, you know?
Okay, all right. I appreciate you. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Allen is the money man. He's good with all things money. So now, when we look at this again, right? A lot of basketball Twitter is losing it, just losing it, just going crazy about this. Now, tell me something. Have the Nets gotten away with one? Have they stole one here, or is this like, it don't really make a difference?
I think they slightly improved in their forward spot. But I don't think this is a big enough difference to like change the trajectory of this team. I think this team's ceiling is making it to the finals and losing to the Lakers if healthy. And I don't think Blake Griffin really changes that. I mean, he has size, he has the basketball knowledge due to how long he's been in the game. He, has developed a good spot-up shot over the course of the past few years, which will be able to get off because our defenses are worried about Irving, Harden, Durant. But at the same time, I don't think this is enough to shift the fortunes of what Brooklyn's destiny is this season.
Chris, what you thinking, man? Was this a big gift for the Nets or what?
This is the first time in Blake's career where he's not asked to be the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and maybe not even number 5 on some nights. This has been the first time he's not been asked. Chris. I'm saying,
who is Brooklyn's 4th scoring option that you said?
Joe Harris.
No, get out of here.
Okay. So in the scheme of that offense, you telling me you giving Blake the ball before Joe Harris?
That 5 wide offense?
You gonna have to double on most nights. You are gonna have to double KD, Harden, or Kyrie.
I thought that was the whole point of getting Blake, so that you can now go 1 in, 4 out instead of 5 wide.
No, Blake hasn't dunked since 2019. Blake is a 3-point shooter now.
I'm not saying for him to dunk. I'm saying you put him in the post. If he could do
he
just
don't post.
Bruh, the post defenders in today's game are terrible, especially at the 4 spot. There need 3 guys right now that you like. Yeah, if you get the ball against him in the post, it's dear meat. Go ahead and chalk it up.
But the thing is, Gibbs, I 100% agree with you, Gibbs. But Blake Griffin shoots fadeaways now. He doesn't bang down there. He doesn't. He shoots fadeaways now. So therefore, you shoot fadeaway. That's a low percentage shot. I'm letting Blake Griffin shoot fadeaways all night long. I'll go sit on the bench and let him practice his fadeaway shot mid-game before I guard Blake Griffin on the fadeaway shot.
Bro said practice mid-game. Hey, he hit him with that when you play pickup basketball. He self-check. Let him shoot, bro. Let him shoot. Let him shoot. So that's it.
All around, I think it could help them, him being a 5th option. Yes, because, I mean, when they have Jeff Green at center, they're really vulnerable. And Blake Griffin being just a body down there, which typically, I heard it online today. Stephen A. said it, I think. Usually the best defenders in the league are really the long, lanky players. And players that are really, really quick with acceleration and agility. Like, they move real quick and they long and lanky. Blake Griffin is broad. He's I think he's a little out of shape, honestly, because he really didn't play much in Detroit. And he never been that good defensively. So, he would be better down low than Jeff Green, maybe, but him playing your 5 spot most nights don't move the needle enough for me. He's averaging 12 and 5. Right. He only played 38 games, I believe, since 2019.
Here's the sickest part for me that we haven't mentioned yet. Because there are a lot of misconceptions about Blake that if you watch Piston games, I can clear up for you right here with some numbers. A lot of people say, oh, Blake Griffin's a 3-point shooter now. Do you know what he's shooting from deep this year?
He shoots 3-pointers. That don't mean he's a 3-point shooter.
29%. Remember how we were just talking about D Wade? If D Wade is telling you that you're not a 3-point shooter, D Wade shot better for his career from 3 than what Blake Griffin is shooting this year. So let's start there. Then let's talk about Blake's 12, 5, and 4, shall we? In the Pistons offense, he's one of the center core pieces, right? And he gets 12, 5, and 4 on 11 shots. Where the hell do you find 11 shots for your 5th option? So in essence, you're telling me that the needle is supposed to be moved, that it's supposed to be a big get for somebody that's basically averaging a little slightly over 1.1 points per shot. That's what you're telling me right now?
Yeah, I don't know why Twitter blew up over this. When I saw it, I was like, that's not even a good fit for Blake.
And then when you look at that, you say to yourself, well, if he's not good at scoring, he's probably got all these other things in his bag that's just amazing.
No.
4 assists a game against 2 turnovers. A 2-to-1 turnover to assist ratio is like good for a big, but it's for a big. And mind you, a big at that. You're thinking, if you get a 2-to-1, you're thinking of Andre Drummond, a Cat.
He's a primary ball handler in Detroit.
This man is a primary ball handler who could barely get 5 rebounds a game. Barely. Was struggling to get them 5. It was clear. Anytime it was him and his teammates on the rim, you knew Blake was getting a rebound. And he barely got 5. The man hasn't dunked in 2 years. Washed is not the word. He was an all-star in, I want to say it was 2018. Washed ain't the word, honey. This man is through. Stick a fork in him. He's done. He's done. I'll go as far as to say this. If I ever see a 40-point game from this man again, I will be shocked. And I can promise you right now, I will name one of my children's middle names Blake. If he ever drops,
I got you write it down.
In his career.
I'm trying to figure out if we saw a 40-point game from him to begin with.
He scored 40 at some point in his career, right?
Blake Griffin career high in points. I need to find this, bro. Give me a second.
He had 50 for the Pistons. He had 50 for the Pistons.
Okay.
I know he did some nut before where I was like, hey, the Pistons they got some. So I don't understand. Again, 1.1 points per weighted shot. Even if we bump that up to about 1.3, 1.4, he's only going to get ideally 4 or 5 shots max. So you're looking at a 6-point guy. A 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 or 2 assists. What under God's green earth is telling people that's what's gonna get him over the hump? Those 6 points are gonna be the crucial 6. Those 6, the winning 6.
But Gibbs,
come on, man.
But Gibbs, you got a double KD, Kyrie, or Harden, so Blake Griffin gonna be wide open.
And that's another misconception about Blake Griffin from these last days with the Pistons. Everybody said, well, his numbers are like that because defenses are watching him. If you watch the Pistons play,
not at all.
Jeremy Grant is the guy that all right, teams are trying to force him to the. I want to say he's left-handed, right? Jeremy Grant's left-handed? Or am I wrong about that? They try to force him to the right, and they try to bring somebody to double off the weak side. You don't see Blake is missing wide open shots. This man is not missing highly contested step-back threes. This man sits at the break and literally just stands there, catches it, uncontested. Clink.
Listen. I hit my breaking point when I had a 10-player prop parlay, right? I needed Blake Griffin to get 3 rebounds or 3 assists. I had the same parlay. I just had 1 with rebounds with Blake Griffin, 1 with assists. This parlay, I only put $5 on it. It was supposed to make me $12.80 or $5 parlay. Blake Griffin had 1 rebound with 8 minutes left in the 4th. I cut the game off, woke up next morning. Of course he got them 2 rebounds.
No, sir.
He got 1 more rebound.
No, sir.
He got 1 rebound in 8 minutes, and he played every bit of it. And don't even make it worse. It went to overtime. You would have thought for sure. I got my money. But Blake Griffin didn't get a stat in overtime.
He was on that Tony Snell program, baby. I'm telling you, Blake is the light-skinned Tony Snell at this point. And we refuse to accept it.
They out there running.
We refuse to accept it. Bro is literally running wind sprints and missing threes. That's literally what he gets paid for.
When I heard he didn't dunk since 2019, bro, it was just like.
Again, I promise you, if I'm the Pistons, if I see him throw down the oop from Kyrie first game, I'm filing a claim with the league for fraud. I'm filing a claim with the league. You know how you take a shorty out to the most expensive restaurant you can find. Hey, come on, girl. Let's go ahead. Let's cash out at Benny's. Let's go to Fleming's. Let's get the biggest steak. Get a steak the size of my back. And then, like, you call Chase immediately after. I have never been to Fleming's in my life, dude. This is fraud. I want my bread back. That's what the Pistons better do. If Blake goes off for 30 or gets a single dunk, they need to go ahead. NBA, I need my bread back. I need all that. I need to recoup some losses. That was not me who paid him that much. I did not have nothing to do with that.
You got to do something, man.
But speaking of folks getting paid, we're going to switch gears to football here to close this thing out. Dak Prescott. Prescott gets paid, people. The biggest guarantee, the largest signing bonus ever at $66 million. Total of $168 million in roster guarantees. I know a lot of people say guaranteed money in the NFL. There's no such thing. It's a roster guarantee. You have to be on the roster past a certain point, and then you are guaranteed the money. It's not given to you in incentives like a lot of contracts are. So, with that being said, what do y'all think about this deal? Is it a win for the Cowboys? Is it a win for Dak? Is it a win-win, or is it a lose-lose?
So of course it's a win for Dak. Any situation where you get paid 4 years, $160 million, it's a win. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what job you got.
Right.
That's a win. It's
Right.
not a win for the Cowboys, but I understand why they did it. It seems like in the NFL currently, if you have a decent quarterback, you have to lock him down. I don't know when that thing came about. We started the Facts Over Axe pod last April, I believe. And then I told you that signing these somewhat okay quarterbacks, these borderline Pro Bowl quarterbacks, sometimes to these large deals, it's not a good idea. That was my thought process. Day 1 of the podcast, episode 10 of the podcast, episode 20. It's not going to change. If you're getting that much money from me, you have to be Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. Like, if you're on my team, we're probably going to be in the Super Bowl.
Right. I feel that.
You can't be given, to put it in NBA terms, if we don't have any football fans in here, how much Mike Conley get paid?
Oh, Mike Conley
38 million, something like that. He was getting 138 million.
Dak Prescott is the Michael Conley of quarterbacks. He cool, but
he
like
got his first All-Star game.
hey, bro, 8 people had to go down.
He Steph in the 3-point. Bro.
8 people had to go down.
In the 3-point. So let me just say this, and I'm gonna let you close this thing out, Chris. But let me say this: I think that this is a win-win. Because, Guyton, I do agree with you to an extent that I don't want to pay so much money to a quarterback that I'm handicapped all the rest of my team.
Right.
I understand that. The Cowboys are in what all of the NFL analysts would like to call cap hell because of this signing. A $66 million cap hit is a $66 million cap hit. That got $66 million just for putting his, literally just for.
Yeah.
66 signing bonus, largest ever. But here's my thing about why this is a win-win. The Cowboys last year played in the worst division in football by a mile. I thought that there was no way the NFC East could get worse than it was in 2019. And the NFC East said, "Oh, you think you know something? Let me show you."
I saw a Instagram post where Florida was like, nobody could be stupider than us. Then Texas was like, hold my beer when they lifted the mask restriction.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, I thought that the NFC East, I said it's only up from here because their winner in 2019 was about 7-9 or something like that.
Yep.
So I'm thinking to myself, it's only up from here. They said, word, wait, we'll give you a conference champ that's basically 6-10. You keep playing with us. The conference champ last year, 7-9. Mm-hmm. No team was a winning team in the NFC East last year. And yet and still, the Cowboys, with Ezekiel Elliott, with Sedarius Lamb, with all of the pieces that they have, with all of the pieces that they had defensively, could not break 10 games. I'll tell you what, that getting hurt may have been the best thing that could have ever happened to him.
True.
Because if he was on that team and they go 7-9 and miss the playoffs, or they go 6-10, or they go worse than what they went, he doesn't get big money. Just because he got hurt in a horrible division and the Cowboys were not the best team in the worst division in football, Jerry immediately said, whatever you need, pay it, pay it, pay it, pay it. I ain't never ever seen nobody break the bank like this before off an injury. I ain't never seen it. But it had to happen, so more power to him. I'm super excited about it. Chris, what you thinking, man?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is Jerry Jones's cover up. Like, Jerry Jones is on one of them people like, I got money, but I'm not gonna do the right thing with it. But I feel like he finally did the right thing with his money, and he paid Dak after that horrible injury. And also, I think the Cowboys are gonna be the best team in their division with Dak, but I don't like the fact that they have to pay Dak all this money, not knowing how he's gonna come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Dak should have said, you know what? I don't even know how I'm gonna come back. Pay me half now. Then when I come back balling, I'll take the other half. So you give me some more pieces or something like that. I don't know. I just think the Cowboys gave all their money to somebody off rip, not even know.
Did the money man just say he would have dropped 80 mil? I didn't hear that.
I mean, because the Cowboys are in the NFC East, bro. If you take some money off my contract, you give me some more players around me and make us, because we know we'll win our division easily. I just need some pieces to get us to the next round. You know what I mean?
But I think that's the point of what's happening with the Dak signing.
Right.
I think the whole point of it is we are in the NFC East. Our window is closing. A window for a running back is only but so long. Zeke is not going to be Zeke for too many more years.
Yeah.
You look at that defense. Those guys are already starting to decline a little bit. They're turning into not exactly what everybody thought they were going to be. So when you look at that and you say, well, where are the Cowboys now? The Cowboys got to win now. They got to figure out something.
That's what I'm saying. And if Dak don't deliver, I don't know.
And the NFC is in prime position to where even without more pieces, he can do what you got. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, you got Zeke, you got the pieces as far as to win the NFC East, and then from there, all you got to do is win a couple games in the playoffs. All you got to do, the wrong team get hurt. Look at what happened with the Chiefs this year. The Chiefs, I believe, if their offensive line was healthy, they run away with the Super Bowl. They weren't. So with the Cowboys, if you say, hey, I'm a not pay Dak exactly, Dak ain't going for that because he just played on the franchise tag and got hurt. So what's the motivation for him to play for half?
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, hey, if I'm him, run it up. Run it up, please. Hey, cash only, no checks, please. No checks. I don't need no Cash App, no Zelle, cash, please. Yeah. Please and thank you. So let me ask y'all this. Do either one of you believe that Dak is, as far as like tiers of quarterback, right? Tier 1 is elite. Either they are headed towards Hall of Fame level or they're already there. Level 2 is like, I'm not surprised if he make a Pro Bowl. He's capable of that. He's maybe been to a couple. Level 3 is like, he's a starter. Level 4 is like, if there's a quarterback available, I'm going to take him. Level 5 is, this boy's a piss of hell. Get him out of here. Get him. He do not belong on the NFL roster. What tier would you put him in?
I'm going to put Dak at tier 2. But I don't think that quarterbacks that's borderline Pro Bowl are enough to give that much money, because that much money warrants, like, you're immediately going to take us to the promised land. And that's not what a borderline Pro Bowl quarterback is. So I would put him at tier 2, but also that's taking into consideration that he's going to be completely 100% healthy whenever he comes back from whatever this injury is. We don't know how it's going to affect him. So pre-injury Dak, I'm putting that tier 2. I have no idea what we're going to get when we come back, when he comes back.
I feel that. Chris, what you thinking about? What tier?
Hey, Gil, you remember when we first started the pod, I had Dak on my fantasy team, and you said to me, oh, you was balling the first 3 weeks. He was hot as fish grease. Those was your exact words. Then, here come week 4. Dak put up 7 points fantasy. I remember it because I was like struggling. I ended up coming in second in that fantasy league. But then Dak came back the next week. He said, oh, you thought 7 was bad? Here comes 6. He came with 6 fantasy points. And I said, there's no way he got 6 fantasy points and played the whole game. I looked at the stats. He played the whole game. Then he went back to being hot as fish grease. He had another 4 weeks. He was just sizzling 30, 27, 25. Dak hasn't really been fully consistent yet in the league, other than his first season when he took the Tony Romo's spot, theoretically, when Tony Romo was getting old. That's the only season he had where he was consistent. Since then, his numbers dipped. His talent's gotten better around him. So for me, I'm going to put him at tier 3, borderline tier 2. I'll put him like right behind like the Tannehills or give me a quarterback that's right there. Ben Roethlisberger. Now I'll put him right there behind.
Did you just put this man behind Ryan Tannehill?
Yes.
Ryan Tannehill.
I would take Ryan over that inconsistent self, man. I might be holding a grudge because of the fantasy though, but I mean.
Yeah, go ahead and play the Don Toliver, man. We don't have enough of this nonsense. Ryan Tannehill. Okay, Ryan Tannehill has weapons on weapons on weapons with a defense that's full of dogs, and he still could not get it done. This is mind-boggling. Man.
So you saying Tannehill a scrub?
I'm saying Tannehill is like 4-3. He's like a 4-3. He's in that zone for me. Like he's kind of like you suspect. Like if I'm playing Among Us, you sus. But I ain't gonna vote you yet. But you sus though. I'm watching you. Listen. We gonna get 2 people that's gonna follow you around. So if you kill one of us, we know what the deal is about you. But he's not. He definitely ain't near tier 2.
I mean. To me, he's in the 3 like that. He's in the 3 like that. But
Lord, Justin made enough.
He had 5 good games. I'll put him in tier 2. He had 5 solid good games. I'll put him in tier 2.
You know what? Okay, I'll say this. For me, Dak is he's solidly in tier 2. And again, it's addition by subtraction. When he got subtracted to that team, they figured out exactly how valuable he is. And the thing about the whole, how much is a quarterback worth? The question is, how much is a Super Bowl worth to you? Because I'm not saying that Dak is going to put you in the Super Bowl immediately. I'm not saying that, right? Like, and I'm going to skip ahead on the rundown a little bit because the next question is, are the Cowboys contenders now? But he puts them back in contention. You're not surprised if the Cowboys are in contention next year. With Andy Dalton.
But when we say contention, is contention winning the NFC East?
No, winning the NFC. I can see. Whoa. Hold on. Look at the NFC right now. Look at the teams that are at the top.
Right.
The Super Bowl champs. Brady is going to be what, 44? The Packers. Aaron Rodgers has admitted, I'm on the back 9 of my career. The Saints, without Drew Brees. Those are the top 3 seeds. They don't know if Drew Brees is coming back or not.
That's true.
No, he already said he was retiring, I thought.
Well, now it's up in the air, allegedly.
Oh,
that's true.
So at the end of the day, who's going to stop him? Taylor Heineke? Jimmy Garoppolo? Like, who are we worried about from the NFC that's like, oh, yeah, I'm sure that the Cowboys can't take them out? I don't know. I honestly and truly don't know. So I think that Dak puts them back in contention. And also, the Cowboys are hitting the fortunate situation of they got everything rolling right, just as everybody else is starting to decline in the NFC. Because if they're in the AFC, oh, absolutely, they're not in contention. You got Mahomes, you got Jackson, you got Allen, you got I mean, the Titans, even with Tannehill, you still got that 260-pound mammoth of a back,
Right.
and you got to stop him. You got to stop. You still got AJ Brown.
Watch Tannehill prove you wrong this season. Tannehill about to fall.
Listen, y'all know I am not above admitting I'm wrong. We had a whole segment called Gibbs is wrong earlier. I'll admit it, but Tannehill ain't proved nothing to me yet. He proved that he wasn't as bad as everybody thought he was with the Dolphins. Ooh, wow. Oh. That's scary. But anywho, so are the Cowboys contenders to y'all? And we gonna end it after this. But I just want to know, are the Cowboys contenders?
So initially, when we said contenders, I was thinking, are they good enough to win the NFC East? It's the NFC East. They could put any of us three at quarterback. We contenders, bro. But since you put it in that context, I didn't really think of the big dogs in the NFC like when that question got brought up. And since you put it that way, they are contenders. Like if it came down to Dallas and Tampa Bay next year, to like win the NFC, that's actually a viable option. I don't know if it'll be worth sitting through 60 minutes of football for, but it seems like something that could happen.
Chris, what you think about? Are they contenders? Are they got a shot or what?
I would say yes, but if two things happen, no. If Jalen Hurts comes out balling, and he's so promising. He come out balling, I don't know. And then if Deshaun Watson go to your favorite place you want him to go, Gibbs, if Deshaun Watson go over there, that make it tough. That make it tough.
Man, listen, excuse me, Deshaun Watson, wherever he goes, if he goes to the NFC. Sorry to this man. Whatever team Deshaun Watson goes to effectively became no worse than maybe the third best team in the NFC. No worse.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
And I literally mean wherever. I don't care if it's not going to be the Lions, but I'm just saying, even if it was the Lions, if it was anybody besides really the Cardinals, they'll be the second, no worse than the third best.
That's what I'm saying. If Deshaun Watson go over there, over with, kill it.
I feel it. Well, listen, we appreciate y'all coming out. We appreciate you, Zip Nation. We appreciate all the listeners. Subscribe to our regular Twitch page, Facts Over Acts. We appreciate it. We know y'all done had enough of us talking about other people's money. We know y'all done had enough of us talk about the hot mess in Atlanta. We know y'all done had enough of Chris talk about the nonsense with the do-rag. So we're going to let y'all get on out of here. But peace and love, y'all. And always remember, come back next week and the week after that and the week after that.
Cool.
You had enough.